Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition. Reswan's not here with us today. She's busy having fun. But I thought for today's video we would bring you a review of Lucky Duck Games King of 12. This is a 2 to 4 player, but maybe more, and we'll talk about it in a second, 2 to 4 player game where you're battling to win the most points and ultimately to be able to put down 2 of your faction cards that are aligned with you. That's kind of what it represents, that 2 factions are aligned with you, so you can become the king of the 12 factions. So this game takes about 15 minutes, give or take, a little bit more when you're teaching it. Obviously, if you don't know that, and like I said, you're new to games, whenever you see the time on the box, add time to it. It's a guesstimate on the box, and then you got to think teaching it when you're playing with new players. It's going to take them time to make their decisions, to understand what's going on. It might take you time to help them through it, things like that. But the box is 15 minutes, and I do believe once everybody at the table knows how to play, it could be about a 15-minute game. And the age is, I believe, 8 plus. Nope, it's 10 plus. You got to be 10 years old, so no little kids playing this game. Which, funny side note, I just heard a story the other day where someone was mentioning a comment about a game that said 8 plus, and they're like, well, that's a game for kids. Well, no. I'm not going to say the word, I guess, on video. All games can be played by kids, too. Kids can play poker if you teach them the rules. They can play blackjack. I remember being taught blackjack when I was really young and being able to play that once I knew how to count up to 21, right? So anyway, 10 and over, it's 2 to 4 player, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And it's about a 15-minute game once everybody understands, right? And so if you don't know how to play, we did a how to play. We also did a playthrough, so you can actually see us playing through. And I think even the playthrough took about 20 minutes. It was Resvan's first time playing. And I also have to do all the moves for her. So I have to set mine down, and then I had to kind of like, okay, what card do you want? Because I'm trying not to look, and then pick her card and put it down, things like that. And to reveal both cards, yada, yada, yada. So on to the review portion of this. I think this is a great game. I really do. For the price, it's a great game. Depending on where let's just go with MSRP. MSRP is $22.99. I got one copy a little bit over, and you're not blind. There is another copy here, and I got that one for a lot under, in a sense. Well, not in a sense. Got it for a lot under. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But even for the $22, $23, it's a fun game. I've played it with multiple groups now. No one has not liked it. Now, I know if you go to BGG, Board Game Geek, and you look at what their ratings are on there, it's rated a little bit lower. And you can read through some of the reviews. I think what's going on, in some sense, and this is just guessing, is that people aren't really sure how to play, or they don't find fun in the fact that you can cancel each other out. Because like I said in the how to play, what you have to remember is you don't want to have the same thing as anybody. You don't want to put down the same card. You don't want to have the same die face as anybody. You don't want to have the same sum total of your points as anybody. And at the end, when you're putting points together at the end of a round, you don't want to have the same amount of points as anybody because it cancels you out. And I think in that is where the fun is, right? If I set down the machine because I want 7 more value to my die, and someone else sets down the machine, you're like, ah, why'd you do that? Oh, you're killing me here, right? And I think that's where the fun comes in, right? I think it's very easy to learn, especially if you play with the starting 7 cards. That they'll tell you this is someone's first time playing, start with those 7 cards. And I would say, I know people disagree with me, if you have a new player at the table, and this can get frustrating because maybe every time you play there is a new player, you should play with the recommended starting cards, right? And lots of games do this. If you're playing for the first time, play with these characters, with these cards, with these dice, with these tiles, with these anything. You should always follow that with a new person. And the reason for that is you want people to enjoy playing games or enjoy playing that game. If you dive into the expansions or the extra cards that are maybe a little more complex to understand, but it gives more flavor to the game, then you might get some people that get a little lost. They're like, I don't know if I like the game. Start how they recommend it, right? Every time there's a new player, just go ahead and play it that way. So this is really easy to learn, easy to teach, easy to play, and it's fun, it's fast, and like I said, it's that you roll your die, the die stays with you to the end of the round till all the cards are gone, and then what you're doing is you're trying to manipulate that die to try to have the highest number or the second highest. If you know someone else there, you can get the highest number, so you want to come in first or second. But there are things that modify it. Like I said, the machine, upside down, how's that look? The machine, right, adds 7. But you also have things like the knight, and this is one that you can play where you're going to say the lowest number comes in first, second lowest comes in second. First always gets 2 points, second gets 1 point. Everybody else, no points. If everybody counts as the table, no one gets any points, right? So you have these things to modify. You also have things like the Parasite. Where is it? Oh, Parasite's all the way in the back. You have the Parasite. It takes 7 points away. So if you think someone's playing the knight, like they have a 2, they have a 1, I'm like, they're going to play the knight. I put down the Parasite, right? I could be right or I could be wrong, and that's where I think the thrill in this game comes. Is the, okay, I'm playing this. Let's see if I can get that first place slot, flip it over, and if, let's say, number 2 played the knight. But -7, I'm only 3. Well, I guess it didn't work out so well. But if I was 5, I would have been -2, and then I would have been the lowest, and I would have got 2 points. So in that is what's fun. And then, of course, normal play is trying to get it up to the highest, right? Adding 7. One of them, the Alchemist, doubles your value. You have the Golem that makes you 12. This one works both ways. It makes your die value 12. Or if your die already shows 12, it makes your die value 1. So you might go, that person's playing the knight. I already tried earlier with the Parasite and it didn't work. I'm going to slap the Golem down. Reveal. They did play. Look, my value's a 1. I get to be the lowest. There's a lot of fun in that. And then, of course, I like these ones too. You have certain cards that will actually affect the die. You physically change the die. The rest is just the value. So you have like this card and you're taking a chance. So once everybody does their thing and figures out what their value is, you get to roll your die and try to see where you come up. And now I have a 3, right? That could be good or bad depending on what's out on the board. And this one allows you to pick adjacent sides, right? You physically change the die. So this game is basic, but has a lot of ways to go through it and play it. A lot of things that you can do to affect the die. Now, is some of it luck? Yeah, of course. But if you don't like luck games, you might not like this game, right? You're like, oh, there's luck. You got to roll that die, and it's luck. I don't know what to tell you. I like luck games. I think it's fun. Even if I lose, it's fun. I might grumble and be like, oh, if I didn't keep having bad luck on that roll, I would have won. Like I did with Resmond. We've played a whole bunch of games since that original game, trying to gear up for this review. And Resmond in one game just kept killing it. She just kept killing it. In 2 games, back to back actually. And I kept rolling low numbers, and I was fighting to try to get that 2 points. And sometimes I did, and a lot of times I didn't. She was always eking out right ahead of me. Not to say that she's not an intelligent player and she was playing her cards wise, because she was, and she was trying to play me wise, reading off what she thinks I can do. But my die was always low. Her die was always high. And I was like, oh, come on. But if you realize it's just a game, I think that chance is fun. But I'm also someone who likes a little bit of chaos mixed into things. It makes things more interesting. We'll put it that way. So with that, I would also say one of the things I like is the fact that you're playing off the other players to the board. What do I think they're going to play? What have they played? When Resmond and I, we've played a lot of these games, and I kept rolling low numbers, I would always kick it off with the knight, right? The knight showing over there. I'm sure you guys can't see. So I always kept kicking it off with the knight, game after game. She got used to it. She knew I was going to kick it off with the knight. And then she started putting down the Parasite to lower her number. So then in another game, I didn't start with the knight. She threw down the Parasite, wasted her Parasite card. I saved the knight for later to try to get those points. Wasn't quick enough to help me win. But it's fun to try to think about how that other player is going to play. And like I originally said, seeing that someone else plays the same card as you. Resmond and I had a game where we played almost our full hand of 7 cards. I would say at least 5 of them, we played the same card over and over and over. Kept canceling each other out, but she had the higher die, so she won. She won that round again. But I've played with friends too, and same thing happens where it's like we almost are in a mind meld and we keep playing the same cards. And we're like, oh, stop, don't. And it makes you second guess. And I think that's where some of the fun comes in this game. Now, since it's a review, I'll try to go over some of the things I talk about all the time when picking up a game. Why did I pick up this game? One was theme. There's not a ton of theme in it, but you're fighting for the different realms, and right, each card represents a different realm, right? In a sense, because I'm saying that because there's different groups of people. So I like the idea of some dice rolling with some card action, but the theme's light, right? So then we can look at player count, and the game is 2 to 4 players. And you guys know me if you've been watching my videos. I like to invite everybody. I like to be able to play big player counts, and that is why there are 2 copies. Because on Lucky Duck's website, they say you can play up to 16 players, right, with 2 copies. Now, here or there, you're also double the price for the game, things like that. Or find one for super cheap, paid full price at a local store, and then found one for super cheap at another local store that had it on sale. But you can play up to 16 players. I haven't played more than 4 players, so I don't know how it works. And I can tell you, 2 players, you don't get as much of the canceling out, and then the lowest number wins. Because that can happen in this. At the end of the score, let's say we can have 2 people that have 4, one person has 1, or 2, one person has 1, and then you go through it. These 2 people at the end of the round cancel out because they both have 4. You don't want to have the same as someone else. And so you have someone who only had 2 points, thought they were losing the whole time, and they're like, haha, I get a win. 1 point is obviously the lowest, so they don't get to win that round. And then they get to pick a card, and they've won a round and things like that. I think that stuff it's fun. But with 2 players, you don't get that lowest number gets to win feeling. You do get canceled out. Resmond and I played some games where at the end of the round, we canceled each other out. No one won that round, which is okay. It means you keep playing. So I don't know the higher counts, but I did buy 2, so I can play up to 16. And it was really, you don't need 2 for 16. Sorry, I did my math completely wrong. You'd have to buy 4 copies to be able to play up to 16. I bought 2 to be able to play up to 8 players. And I haven't played up to 8 players yet. I've only played 4. All right, so player count works with the player count that I like, right? I could do anything from a small group of 2 all the way up to a big group. I like all the groups. I think it's fun. So there's theme, player count, mechanics. I like throwing dice. It's fun. I don't know. I just love the rolling of a die, the luck that's involved there. I like cards. In some ways, I guess it is kind of a trick taking because you're all putting down a card and you're playing a trick. A trick is just one. If you've watched my start playing trick taking, a trick is just to win a game, which sounds weird because you want to play a trick. But this game is fun because sometimes you are playing a trick. Sometimes you throw down the knight and you're like, nope, I'm trying to fool you guys, right? So I like that aspect. So it had 2 mechanics that I liked. It had the dice rolling. It had the trick taking. I don't know, because like I said, we're new at this. The aspect of canceling out, I do like that. I think it's fun. It's frustrating fun, and I like that frustrating chaos fun. So the mechanics are fun. The price, let's go with MSRP, $23 for 1 copy, I think is fair. I think it's fair for the price. If you can find it cheaper, get it cheaper. Like I said, I actually went to a local store and paid a couple dollars more for my first copy. I don't know if this is actually the first one I bought. And then went to another store that had it $7 under. I think I paid $15 for this copy. So I feel like it balanced out. I'm not going to do the math right now, but it feels like it balanced out. But even for the price at $22, we'll say $23, I think it's worth it. I think it's a solid 2 to 4 player game. Now I would say it's the most fun at 3 to 4 because you get that person, especially that new person, is like, I don't know if I fully get this. You guys keep winning. I can only get 1 point here. I don't know what to do. And then you get to the end and 2 cancel out, and that person made 1 point that entire round. They're like, what? I won. I won that, and they go, oh, let me put my card underneath here, ditch one of my cards. I have a win under my belt. I think that's fun, right? So for the price, I think that's fun. Player count's fun, mechanics fun, themes fun. Um, would I play this game again? Most definitely, I would play it again. Would I ask to play it again? Yes, because I ask people to play it again. And the reason I go through this, and I know I might repeat myself sometimes in the video, is there are games that you find all right, and yeah, I'll play it again if someone wants to. And then there's games that you want to play. You're asking people to play. You're bringing the game night. You're bringing up like, hey, you got that game? Can we play that one again? An example of that is, and I know some of my friends are going to get upset, Ticket to Ride. And I know it's one of the great classics, and it's the evergreen, which means a game that's going to be around forever. You know, it's just the theme. I'm not super excited about the theme. I have asked to play it again, though, but it was because I wanted to give it one more try. Right? I've heard people say don't give games 2 tries, at least 2 tries, right? Because you never know. But it's not one I'm quick to say, hey, let's play. Now, if I'm at a friend's house and they have it, and I don't have any of my games, and they're like, hey, let's play a game, I might be like, oh, let's try Ticket to Ride again, you know? But that's why I do the will I play it again, and Reslan and I do this, will I play it again? And Damien Morgan did it when they were on here with us. Will I play it again, and would I ask to play it again? Instead of giving a rating system. So will I play this game again? Am I willing to play the game again? Yes. Would I ask to play the game again? Definitely. So that's basically the review of this game, right? It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. It's easy to play, right? And I think there's a lot of fun that goes on. If you go to Board Game Geek and you look at those ratings, I think kind of push them out or pay attention. A lot of the high ratings are in German, in I think there's an Italian one, in Spanish, European ratings rate it really high, right? And you can look at that. They tend to like more strategy games. That's why we get Eurogame versus Ameritrash. Ameritrash is just dice rolling, and where's that luck? And of course, us as Americans, we like that luck because we've come up in some ways in the world with luck, right? But the American ones are like, I don't know, it's kind of hard, and it's frustrating if someone has the same card as you. I think they're losing some of the idea of the game, what the game's meant to be. And I do believe this rating is going to go up because it took a while to get out there. And I think the more people play it, the more the rating for this game is going to go up. So a couple things to learn. Review about the game, right? Would play it again, would ask to play it again. And I think it's gonna go up, right? I think more people are going to play, and the reviews are going to go up. So you don't always have to watch Board Game Geek. So when you're looking at finding a game that suits you, like we've talked about before, look at theme, look at player count, mechanics, look at cost, right? Look at those things. And of course, there's a how easy is it to get out on the board. This is super easy, right? You have 7 cards that they tell you to start with. Oh, and that adds, there is variety in this game because there's 5 more cards that come in here, 5 more suits, so you can switch it up because you only have 7 cards in your hand, and a lot of them are a lot of fun. And if you're lucky enough to find it with the promos still connected, and a lot of stores, if they have some promos left, they'll have them there, you can get up to 7 different suits. Both these I got with the promos. So there's 7 extra suits in here because of the promo. If you just buy the game without the promos, there's 5 suits in there. And 7, I don't know math, but you guys can do it, right? What's the mix that you can have in variety? But overall, fun game to play, quick game to play, filler game, and I've had multiple groups, multiple people ask to play the game. So it's not just me saying I would ask to play the game, right? And sometimes it's like, what should we bring for game night? I'll bring this, or are you going to have it there? You know, just in case, so we can play that as a filler. So I would say overall, this is a good game. Things you might not like. If you don't like chance, you might not like it. If you don't like rolling dice, you don't like the idea of trick taking, you might not like it. But it's a game you can see if a friend has, and it's worth giving it a shot. So that's our review of Lucky Duck Games King of 12. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. As always, you can help us grow this coalition by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell notification, and as I say in some videos, let us know if you're in the area and you'd like to play or you'd like to do videos reviews and stuff with us, playthroughs, all that kind of stuff, just let us know, because we're open to grow as much as we can. So hope you guys have a good day. See you later, everybody. Bye.